And we're back with Positive Vibration Foundation Master Clip series with the wonderful Mike Dillon and friends. This next song is called DVS, or as you call it, Devious, Dillon, Vidacovich, Singleton. Now, this song was written while you were living in the outskirts of the French Quarter in that little Frenchman area.
Above Checkpoint Charlie's.
Above Checkpoint Charlie's.
Yeah.
And the other part of the song is, I want you to explain that and explain the James Singleton rhythm section.
Okay, so, when I first moved to New Orleans back in 2006, I was living up above Checkpoint Charlie. And anyone that has been here any time at all knows you get some very interesting characters. And there was always music happening down there. And one of my favorite books I ever read was Confederacy of Dunces, Old Ignatius. So when I'd go out on my jogs, I would always just sort of be looking for Ignatius. I knew Ignatius was everywhere, not just the statue, but like the real Ignatius. And playing with James and Johnny a lot, this is another song that just popped out of the universe. A lot of times I write my music for the guys I'm playing with. And this is probably like one of our 10-year-old, this song's been around for about 10 years, right, James? Now, James and Johnny, they're one of the greatest living, still existing New Orleans rhythm sections. They played with many, many folks. And before I even moved here, and when I come to Jazz Fest starting in 99, I remember I was playing in Baton Rouge the night before I drove over, and the guy, Glenn at the Varsity, said, "You got to see this drummer, Johnny Vidacovich." He was he was Stan Moore's teacher and Brian Blade's teacher. So, and I had already seen him, actually. I was like, wait a second, you said Astral Project? And I'd seen him in 97 at the Kansas City Blues and Jazz Festival when I was living up in KC. So anyway, started coming here, started seeing those guys around all the time. And, you know, I would see James strolling around Jazz Fest with his big bass and his colorful pants and colorful shoes. And he would play the coolest music. I'd just go, man, I want to play with that guy one day. And then when I got a chance to move here, I started playing with Johnny at the Maple Leaf, and I'd already been playing with James some and Scarrick. And, you know, just from years of being around them, they would talk about all the guys they got to play with and back up. You know, James has played with James Booker. You played with Booker for years, right?
Wow.
I mean, he played with Booker like, 11 to 2 p.m. lunchtime gig on Bourbon Street?
It was Toulouse and Charters.
Oh, Toulouse and Charters. I mean, that's some real deal New Orleans stuff. That's the way you get the education in New Orleans, playing with the masters. You know, and Johnny played with Professor Longhair. And so, like, to me, getting to play with them, they were, like, giving me, just by osmosis, some of the touch of the greatness. Hearing James talk about playing with James Black, the legendary drummer, you know. And not only was James Black a great drummer, but he was a great composer, you know. And then, you know, on and on. Hearing Johnny talk about Smokey and David, what's the last? David Lee on drum. I mean, there's so many great drummers, and just it just comes out of the walls in New Orleans, you know. So this was a song just written by the greatness of New Orleans. I didn't write it. New Orleans wrote this song. Cool. And it's a fun song for us to play. It's called Devious.